What's up, everybody? My cat is here too. I was just playing with him before we started, and now he's mad that I stopped.
Classic.
You might have heard some of that on the mic, I'm not sure. Yes, indeed.
How very cat of your cat.
Exactly. Alright, welcome everybody. It is Squid School time. Today we're going to have a Splattershot VOD review with Jambler. But before we do that, we're going to play a little bit of League and get things kicked off here. There we go. Unfortunately, Quintastic will not be able to join us here because of technical difficulties with his Switch. Has been getting a NAT type error, which is the worst thing.
Yep.
This isn't Twitch, you're correct, Fia. Bad like this rotation, holy moly. We've got Rainmaker, Arowana, and Wahoo. We'll just open up a Teams lobby, and whoever would like to join will join. Jambler also will not be able to play with us. It's very late in their time zone, so they're not going to be here for the VOD review proper. We're not going to be talking directly to them. We'll just be recording the VOD review for them to be able to watch later.
Hog epic.
So hello to everybody. Hello to Jamie, to Devi, to Bab, to Estonia Nordic Smidge, to Call Me Cool, to Fia again. I think I already said hi. To Haku, to Snug Pig. Welcome everybody. And Heka, how many times have y'all played Arowana? Too many is the answer to that question. And hello Cactus, and hello Steven. Welcome everybody. Hey Devi, if you joined us right now, you could probably actually play backline. What a concept. Devi was in the news! What's up, T-Powerful? Alright, there we go. This is, I think, what I'll try and roll with here. I'm gonna try and be supportive. And let Bab's massive KA shine. Says an update, so Devi is gonna beat me to it. Ah, okay. Your massive KA. Your tremendous contribution. Alright. Let's be honest about what's about to happen here. Oh yeah, Double Zap is great. I like it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Debbie.
Hey.
And anybody who would like is welcome to join in the, or anyone who is, you know, in the game that we're playing. So Bab, Jamie, if you wanted to hop into the Bravest Voice chat, now is the time before we find opponents. There's Jamie.
Hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jameer.
Hi, Dolby.
First time tuning in. Looking forward to this Zap 85. Welcome, Pumpkin Jams. Good to have you.
So we have Jambler, Jameer, Jam, Pumpkin Jams.
So by jam, we're talking about me, right?
Yes.
How do we fit jam into Debbie's name?
Why would you
Oh,
want
we
to fit
can't.
that in?
Jelly.
I don't know.
Javi?
Jelly?
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 We're trying way too hard to make this work. Baited with squid beats in the thumbnail. Yes, that is the best rhythm game. Yes, that is the rhythm game that we play. Yeah, grits teeth.
I love it
It's
when they
there.
do it
It's a way to
like
listen.
that.
It is a Nintendo-approved way to listen to their copyrighted music. You have to give them that. Now,
Fun
unfortunately,
fact,
I
whenever-
haven't figured out how to unlock the other songs in it. Does that unlock when you, like, beat hero mode or something? Like, do I have to be farming for hero weapons to be... I don't understand. I've done everything else.
We're gonna have to redo the lobby. Oh, never mind. It baited us.
It just decided to take its sweet time.
I guess so. Anywho, fun fact: when low ink sets take too long, sometimes the streamer will actually put on Squid Beats. The intermission screen. And it's
Bring
great.
back Squid Jump. True. Oh, a lot of them come from Amiibo? That's lame. Ah. So you still have to pay extra to hear the Splatoon soundtrack, even in that format.
Or you just go to where someone's place where they have all the amiibo and just get it from there. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, come visit me.
Well, we will be visiting you for LTC at the very least.
Yeah, but I
Three on
won't be
left.
taking all of the amiibos to the land.
Miscellaneous all three on
Why
left.
not? Here's armor. Let's do things maybe? Question mark.
Trying.
Yeah, nice.
Bubble.
Things done. 2 down. 1 in their court. Weak on me. Very weak. Oh my god, how did I not get him? Big rip.
Oh, the splatling!
Come back and help Rainmaker.
I am just gonna...
Okay, yeah. I can't jump into that. Okay,
There's one
maybe I
here.
can jump into that.
Ah!
Okay,
On the Rainmaker.
I am correct. I can't jump into that.
It was close, but I couldn't
No,
get
it was
the
not
shot.
close.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Oh, you mean you getting the pick? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But me getting there safely
Hi.
in time? No, that was not gonna happen.
Woo!
Okay, 2
This
in
blob cannot hit me. This
Halfway to
splatling
armor.
is not allowed to hit me. Ooh.
Armor out.
My chicken! For the chicken lord!
Good block.
Oh, wait, I thought I had the Rainmaker.
Forward, my brethren.
Oh, from behind, from behind, from behind.
Nice. Just the junior behind.
It's just Jamie.
Okay, so
If
we
I
probably
could
can't
get
win that
splashed
pop.
down in time. Ignore that booyah, but you can booyah back if you want. Whenever
Done.
I squeeze the controller, I booyah, because that's what I have it mapped to.
Didn't get that out of that.
Ha!
I have-
Got him off the
I
bubble.
have splashdown if we get close to the barrier, but it looks like they're on it.
Flanking. Got one. Blob should get me, but
I
didn't.
got the blob. Someone else grab Rain?
I have it.
Okay.
They're around the corner. Pre-firing. I'm
Guns
down.
blazing.
Yeah, there are 3 in front of it. We gotta take a slow push here.
What do you mean? Oh no.
Oh, shoot.
So there are 3 in front of it. We should take a slow push. I believe, Bab. I don't believe in myself, but I believe in you.
Sounds like me, 24/7.
In that situation, this is not a self-confidence thing.
Why did I do this? Why did I do this?
Ow. Ah, darn, we're
I
2 down.
cannot answer that question.
I can. I thought I could get to the rim in time, but I couldn't.
Alright, bubbler. Oh no.
I'm just picking the worst jumps right now.
Woo! Hi.
Oh, you jerk.
Okay, 2v3.
Not that bad.
Good stalling, good stalling. They're gonna booyah.
You got me. This thing all
I
three.
threw a chicken at it.
Cutting off Rainmaker. Got one.
I am pressuring it
Rainmaker
with
weak.
my range.
They're down.
There we go.
There's
Okay,
one on left
Splatling
carousel, I
side.
think.
Yeah, Splatling.
I have armor ready to go. Ah, well, not anymore.
I am half the splashdown. Splatling's guarding this right side with a friend. Moving left. They backed up to let the junior walk forward.
Blob and right carousel. I'm painting up.
They threw Rain
His
on
armor?
the right. Rain's gonna come over me. How delightful.
This thing, I'm going to die to the Rainmaker though. Got Rainmaker.
Nice.
Got one.
Was it bomb?
One weak
No,
on my
this
ouch. And one left glass.
One's in mid.
Oh, it retracts away from them.
It
That's funny.
retracts. That is funny. I got one in mid.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Neither I haven't. That's a good one. I'm hitting the blob. I'm hitting a lot of things. Where is this junior?
Blob carousel.
Lost.
I'm gonna push underneath it.
Oh, hi, blob.
Got one. I'm down. Heavy going left glass.
Oh, God. Go away.
One pushing right and one pushing left. Careful, you guys are split.
I am just backing up because this blob's got priority.
All right, 15 seconds. Just stay back. Throw bombs. 8 feet.
Or just, you know.
Rainmaker down.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Bob.
Wow. I'm down to blob.
It's okay. They
Nice.
aren't going to get it in time.
All right. And you keep jumping. Is that optimistic? Yes. I believe that my teammates are going to splat everybody and save me. It hasn't worked out so far in this match, but it'll happen eventually.
One of these days we'll pull off those epic save moments and be like, yeah, don't worry, this wasn't a mistake. We saved it.
Most by just playing Thea. Do you mean playing Squid Beats or playing the main game? Because 4,500 hours in, I feel like I should have unlocked most of it.
You need to get 99,999.
Darn.
9?
9? 9.
No.
No.
I need to join
It's the only
VC
way.
so Jamie can hear my cries for help.
I won't help.
So, hey, Jamie, pretend you have this leash and that Bab is on the end of it, and then follow.
I'll be dragged around everywhere, though.
That's the point! Oh, hang on. Gem with the pom-pom shirt. Let's go.
Big pom-poms for that one.
Hey, look, it's Gem.
Oh my god, it's the other Gem! And it's also Garrett, Stickbug,
Surskit.
Surskit. Friends!
Surskit is my favorite Pokemon. Yeah.
Oh boy.
This is an extremely aggressive comp.
And it's going to be.
They're gonna get popped. They have Dapples and a Sploosh.
I thought I had mines for a second. Okay, well, I'm just refilling.
One right
these
carousel.
This one's me.
things. Oh, in left carousel.
On me, on right. Got him.
Run.
Brush on me. Got him. Pushing Rainmaker.
Running.
Oh,
Nice.
they got me. There's a jump
I
to
did
Rainmaker.
not get
Stop
that,
Rainmaker,
thank
stop
you.
Rainmaker. Oh, we're not in the way.
It's
I
just
cannot.
Bab. Oh no. They have a beacon in mid, by the way.
Brush on top right. Probably someone sharking court. Yeah, well, left side of court. Coming steps, coming steps, coming steps.
Yeah, we're here. Don't
In
worry.
the corner, in the corner.
Watch out for the carbon.
Run. This guy's still sharking there.
Throwing chickens to scout. They have a beacon in left or left. No, our top left.
They're fighting court. One on our
We
steps.
need to get the, we need to
Dapples.
get the beacons out. I'm gonna die.
Carbon got me.
There you go, bomb rush.
They're going to the rail. They're putting a beacon on our rail.
Just move that out of there.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm getting the beacon.
Yeah.
Well, one of them. Someone get the beacon on our right with a bomb if you can. But we
Going
might
for
not be
it.
able to- Right around this corner! Got one! Below me!
Yeah, focus players and Rainmaker first, and then beacons. We need to clear them out before we can get those safely.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna chill here. There's a brush just, you know, here.
Jump in around the corner.
There's
Got him.
three court. Coming in behind
There's
you,
a
Debbie.
brush behind me, I know.
Okay, beacons are in mid. One on me, one on me. I'm down. They picked up, they picked up.
I got
One going to
two of
Rainmaker,
them.
one Rainmaker, Rainmaker.
I am right here.
Nice.
Don't worry. Left carousel was carbon.
Okay, I'll get the beacon.
There's 2 beacons here. Yep, there's the carbon. They got me.
Got one.
Carbon in mid.
Two in
There
mid,
you
two
go.
mid. Carbon, one other. Sploosh.
Here's armor.
I feel like we're
Is
gonna
there someone
get
behind
flanked.
us?
They're left carousel.
Yeah,
There's a beacon there. It's probably the Dapples. Brush.
Oh, I got the hammer. I splashed down just in case. What's happening?
I got hit by somebody else from underneath. Carbon, left,
Ugh.
or right glass, underneath. Carbon
Oh,
court.
hello.
Nice.
There's a sploosh
Debbie's
right
furthest
here.
forward. Debbie's furthest forward.
Sorry, I was fighting
Hello.
someone.
Oh yeah, that was more to Debbie than anyone else.
I know, but they had to, where I was, they had
Brush
to dodge
flanking
roll in
right.
for something to get me. Oh boy. That's a lot. They got it on the way up. I missed time to splash down.
Ah, didn't know that someone was on our court.
Yeah, as soon as one pushes up, there's like 2 others hiding in the ink.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this comp is.
Let's bomb rush.
Watch the steps too, probably.
Brush our steps.
Brush is weak.
Goal is brush.
There you go. Dead.
I'm gonna use this to clear.
Dapples also steps. Rainmaker weak. I cannot get him.
I do.
There you go.
Sploosh on me. I'm down. 2 on me. Sploosh going for shield.
Jamie
They're
in
behind us.
front,
They're behind us.
watch
They're behind us.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know. Ah, I went too close.
In steps.
still on our steps.
They're jumping into the beacons. Rush on me. I'm down. We need to pick up. Take it out left.
Below. Carbon's right below, Jamie!
Not below. Not below. Not below. Go out the
Take a left.
Yeah,
I'm dumb.
the high left.
The top.
yeah the
left,
high
top
ground
left.
so that you can paint from above
Yeah,
and
yeah,
be
I
safe.
know.
Yeah, that's how those kinds of comps always go. We slay more, but they still have more pressure.
Mhm.
Just keep jumping into the beacons. Yeah, beacon's definitely unique.
Tag somewhere.
It's
Oh,
interesting.
people tagging me in hydro clips.
Aw, people are saying nice things in the chat. Thank you for saying nice things, chat. You're better than most chats.
This chat's very wholesome.
Back on Squeezer. Hecka is hype.
Hello again, Gem.
Hello again?
Not you, Gem. Not you.
Oh,
Gem.
other Gem.
Other Gem.
Different map. Bab's like, shh. Quick, everybody be mean. Good luck with that. I don't think you guys have it in you.
I'll be mean.
Oh, wait, actually, they might take that as a challenge. Never mind. Ignore what I said.
One gonna come out there closed probably, and 2 in mid. Or not.
Carbon pushing me. Got him.
We got him. They're all going
I
right.
tagged him, but yeah, they're gonna stay behind and protect that. That was a good play from Surskit. They've got a beacon enclosed. They're just gonna set up there and make a slow push from there. Don't feed into it. They dropped. They dropped. There we go.
Got him. Friend's still mid. Got him.
Gonna make it down.
That's 3 down.
Okay, let's clear everything out. They've got beacons.
They're right here.
Got him. Okay.
One enclosed. Traded. Still jumping to their beacon. There's one more enclosed.
Come to mid. There's a beacon. Oh, never mind. They're right here. Hi. Behind me. Just taking it forward as far as I can.
Carbon fish tank.
In the
Carbon fish tank.
corner.
Got him.
I'm still alive somehow.
Dapple's weak.
Oh, there we go.
Did the Dapples fall? Oh, they're on the back wall. That's genius. Got him.
Oh, there's a bomb. Well, I got it back to mid. There's a beacon on the other
Hammer.
side of the ramp, so they're
Got a
just
carbon.
Hammer weak. Got him. Here's armor.
Yep. There's
That's
one
2
in our
down.
alley.
I'm picking up.
They're closed. Watch our close.
They jumped me. Still one left sneaky. They're on the back wall. Behind Jamie. Nice.
Got him.
I don't want to push that yet, but I'll let.
Got one. Roller on our ramp.
Got
Nice.
him.
There
That's
we go.
3 down. Clear beacons ahead.
There's beacon in there closed and on the ramp. Dapple in mid with a friend.
Yep.
I got one. They're all on the top left side. They're gonna go for rain. They're going for rain. Oh no. Oh, there's one behind, isn't there? No, that's
There's
you.
one enclosed.
No, they are up here.
Got one.
This
Closed
isn't
is
good.
still carbon.
I'm
Oh.
dead.
Getting this out on left.
You got 2 of us with you.
Oh, this is Remaker free.
Jamie, there was someone underneath of you. I don't know where they went.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find out.
There is a beacon on our clam goal, so heads up.
Got one. Okay, yeah.
One still pushing me on ramp.
Oh, I got one. Cool.
Nice.
That's just the
Carbon's still there.
Just the
Carbon's still there.
carbon. Chicken's chasing it.
Down.
Okay, that's delayed wipe. Get the beacon around
Okay.
left. There's one there already.
Yeah. Pushed it back. The chickens are pushing it back too.
Picking up.
Sploosh is somewhere top right, I think.
Yeah, Brush is top right, and Sploosh is on left with me.
One on ramp. Need them pushed away before I can move in.
I hit somebody.
Still one on me. Carbon.
Oh no.
They're in sneaky. They're on the wall. Nice.
Got him.
There's still one on the top left here.
Push
I got
down.
one. Hammer, watch out! Oh
There you
shoot.
go. All good.
They're gonna do the thing.
No.
One on ramp. Carbon. Nice.
Oh, top right.
So yeah, there's gonna be 2 top right.
I'm down to bombs.
I feel like I'm gonna get taken from behind. Yep.
I don't see anything. There you go.
Still a beacon by their temple.
Carbon! No! Oh my god, Jim. Oh.
Almost got it. Alrighty. What is that? Was that like our third or fourth?
That's our third.
We'll find out.
Okay, it was 3.
Yeah, that we played 2 matches against Skid's team. I don't remember the first match, if I'm being completely honest.
I don't think the armor is helping us that much. I'm gonna try switching to something else. I think I'll do this. It's like I'm popping armor, and then like it's like me and Jamie are the only ones who are going to be pushing in with it, and probably better to just have a special we're going to get more use out of.
Oh my god.
Try actually wouldn't be the worst idea. That would be something I could pull out.
Wow, I
Also,
only died 3
like-
times last game. What?
Does rain get rid of beacons?
Yes.
Yeah, it does if it's fully over it.
Nice.
And if you have Object Shred.
Oh, yeah, Jem, you know what? Your Tri-Slosher would actually be kind of decent here.
They should get popped, so back up if it starts getting bad.
No, they won't.
We did get one. Nice. That's 2
got
down. That's
2
2 down.
Make that 3.
Down.
Last one fish tank. Last one fish tank. Destroy beacons. Hit him. Nice, nice,
There we
nice.
go.
Go, go, go. Watch bombs. Still bombs.
Dead,
I couldn't
but
save
that's
that.
fine. Yeah, no, it's
16 is
fine.
really good, though.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
They're
Up to
taking
me?
it top right.
1 by me, 2 by me.
Okay. I'm gonna annoy Rainmaker.
1's coming through, they're closed. It's the one with the beacons. I'm dead. I got pushed.
They're going up to closed.
Yeah, they're coming through closed. The Dapple's with the carbon coming through mid.
Carbon in mid.
No carbon.
Got carbon.
That's
I'm
two
down to Rainmaker.
Rainmaker?
Watch out for Sploosh with hammer. Or
Rainmaker's
who has
really weak.
Rainmaker? Oh wait, the Sploosh had
Brush and someone else back left.
Are you sure it's back left? Okay.
Yeah,
No,
they
it's
ran
up
back
on
to
top
their
snake.
snipe.
Okay. I don't have any more ink.
Yeah. They have Panis for that. Carbon coming
Oh,
up top
no.
right.
Dang it.
Backing up.
There's 3 ahead. Oh.
I'm down to brush. Got one with bombs.
Carbon's right in front of me and they'll
Beacon
sneak
on our
it.
clam goal.
Carbon was in the sneaky. Oh no, right side. Carbon going at clam goal 2.
Still 2
Down
clam
on
goals.
this
down to the
rail.
beacon.
Oh, I didn't mean to drop. My bad.
I can't hit the Dapples. There we go.
Just on our fanboy, I think.
I'm pretty sure someone's sharking there still. They're
Yeah,
gonna go
there's
that way
gonna be
because
at
I'm
least
over
one,
here.
probably 2.
Watch out for the brush.
Rainmaker weak.
I
Didn't get him.
can't. I can't stop it.
We're wiped.
Dang.
Good opening though. Beating them to pop really does things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just keep playing the same team over and over again.
Scrim?
Mm-hmm. Bad with the opening quad. Kinda pog champ.
Part of me wants to play Dynamo against that team, but part of me doesn't.
Call Me Cool was like, the stream delay made Bab's message show up 5 seconds before the other team dunked.
Oh,
Why, hello there, RDB. How's it going? RDB, another mid-level competitive squid friend. Played for Stargaze. I don't know if you still play for Stargaze. I don't know if that's... This platoon teams come and go rather quickly. But Stargaze has been around for a while.
Most of them.
Playing Tetris, Pog.
Enigma might apparently start back up when Splatoon 3 starts up again.
I'm sure a
comes
lot
out.
will. I will not be surprised of how many FA posts there are going to be when 3 comes out. It's going to be swamped.
Do you think Swampy will come back?
I have no idea. I didn't even know Swampy fully stopped.
You
I don't
said
know.
swamped, and so we immediately all thought swampy.
I was Swampy. I haven't heard much from Swampy, like in
It's
terms of
been
players and stuff.
That word has been used so often at work lately that it's just kind of drilled into my brain at this point whenever things are like overloaded.
We've got Tetris propaganda. Everyone's subliminally messaging each other to play it.
Wait, Jem, did you?
Gem seed? We're just stuck here.
Oh. I thought it was like everyone got kicked out or something.
No,
No.
I'm stuck here.
I'm still here too.
Game, please give us the
Man, this is
disconnection
so
thing.
relaxing. There you go.
Wait, yours gave the thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold on, Debbie. Give it a second.
any day now. Come on, game.
Let's go netcode. Let's go netcode.
Did Bab get it? Bab, did you get out? Or are you stuck too?
Stargaze took a break because Yeet and I started college, but we're talking about doing stuff for Splat 3. Sounds good.
Oh, there it is, finally. Oh my god.
It'll be good to see you guys again.
Where's Bab
find
in
the
the
same
DC, by the way? Why aren't they here?
Well,
Where's
it didn't
your-
DC us all at the same time as the thing called me cool. Are we all out now?
Yes. you
Okay.
can remake.
Remaking. I mean, I wouldn't blame anyone for not playing this rotation. Clear.
I would. How could you?
This and I can just run this. No, I run this. That's what I do with this. Is that right? That's right. Okay, so now we have a lot of bombs. This is nice. Would accidentally say profanities in VC. You're welcome to just be in here on mute, Bab. At least then you'll hear call-outs.
There's the Jerry Tri-Slasher.
Ah.
I don't think we scrimmed you when you brought out Tri-Slasher before. Or have we? I don't remember.
Yes, we did.
Probably. Maybe.
Yes.
Oh.
It would be
I don't
literally
think that
once.
I don't think you were there for it, though, Debbie.
So, before I forget, Jim, I'm gonna start seeing if I can get scrims with people going to LTC, so... That way the
People
LTC groups can scrim each other.
People can join VC. No, Bab is playing with us. Bab is XP and bio. We keep the VC down to the people who need the information.
Oh, no.
So we're not like information overload.
So that's a thermal ink C-jet. That ray, as soon as it hits me, is gonna know exactly where I am. I hate this.
Cool.
Here, I'll try to give you armor.
I'm alive.
Very neat
We're
and
good.
poggers. They're still just kind of camping out on their snipe. They're not pushing
Yeah,
too hard.
Okay, I'm gonna come behind Bab.
Brush and mid? Yeah. Okay, good follow up there. There's one looking over the top left, and one on plat that we can push. One left glass, nice.
Jamie,
We
there's
could
one
probably
on
take it left.
Can you grab Jamie?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 on right, so just go left. I'm down to
Oh,
bubbles.
bubble killed me. Ooh.
I don't think you get that pop now, though. Oh,
What are
nice,
you
nice,
talking
you got
about?
it.
I splashdown comboed it. I can insta pop it.
Oh, Brush was sharking our plat. I'm down.
That's it.
Nice pick.
Brush is still there.
Not anymore.
Two down.
Oh! Thanks,
That's,
Jamie. We traded. We just traded follow-ups. Coming to mid. I'm gonna throw a chicken.
Well, help me out.
Oh, that's a bomb. Boink.
I was hoping you would get
Oh, this is. I didn't. That was the worst timing for the platforms to come out. I sad.
Okay. Not I mad.
No, I'm not. I'm mad. I'm mad's a completely different person.
Got two. I'm down. One in mid. Ring.
Oh, C-Jet, please, no.
I'm nowhere near
There we go.
baby.
It's okay. I'm fine. I can dodge this one. They actually stopped partway through it. Leave. Push the
I'll
C-Jet
pick it up.
backside of mid. Oh, two on the right side glass.
Raining left.
Someone's by you, Jamie.
Yeah, there's two there. Traded with one. Still one there though, Squeezer.
I don't think they re-
Okay, they got pop again. They're gonna take it right though.
Yep.
One on the bridge right.
Careful,
I
Bab.
think I can hit the Rainmaker. Oh.
Got Rainmaker.
I did tap it twice.
Okay, Brush is gonna be behind us.
Yeah, Brush is in our base.
Well, I'm dead. I died to bomb and shot.
Blaster's watching for Plat. Don't pick up yet. Ow. I got shot from left. Not gonna lie, I don't know how I'm supposed to push into mid.
Off angles.
You don't push mid. You push the carousels.
You can
That's
try
your
flank.
answer.
Alright, I'll give that a
You
try.
can, like, yeah.
Got the squeezer.
The two on
Taking
the
left.
left.
In carousel. I'm dropping in behind Rainmaker on right. Or on left.
Got Rainmaker.
Brush, right glass.
Oh boy, I don't have any ink gem.
I hit him
You are
once.
careful.
I'm down. There's a jump to the right.
Two on this. I don't know where that guy went. There was one by me.
Let's go to the vice.
Oh, Jamie.
Woo!
I thought they were gonna be able to pick that up.
They were about to, but then I said no. Oh my
2v2.
god. Ah! I'm alive, don't worry. That's a blaster that I don't want to be near.
Blaster. Oh my god. He dodged. Blaster still Plat.
Yep. Hey, Jet. Oh no, I don't want this blaster. Blaster steps.
Oh. Bubbles on me.
I'm dead.
You're in the rain. Nice.
Got one.
Blaster back to support. Nice. One
Oh.
behind me. Brush.
Brush
They went to
is
right
on,
Plat.
pop up.
Or left Plat. They're back in mid. Oh, there's a bomb. I'm down.
Yeah, I was spot there.
I
Just you two. Back up.
can't.
Don't be near that.
I don't know what's happening.
This is the first time I've tried to play these map modes on this weapon, and I'm still trying to figure out what I do. I'm feeling like I'm just running into a wall of paint, and like I'm either forcing something that I can't get myself out of, or I'm not doing enough.
The way
I'll try to err on the side of just positioning safely and throwing bombs, and then go for something when I can see it.
The way these weapons play these maps is that they don't take the flat out in the opening. they're always on one of the two sides on the wings. Like they're taking every wall. They're always down in carousel, being where it's hard to hit. And it's like, you know they're there, but you can't hit them because they have so much cover. And that's what makes it annoying. So they just come around and they can just keep the forward pressure underneath because they can just use the walls from underneath and just keep hiding, so... So yeah, instead of trying to do like mid-fights on either of these maps, try to take either carousel or the sneaky ways. Because a lot of tries do that all the time.
Why not the burst bomb armor try was a question in chat. A couple reasons. One, we don't have a very aggressive comp at all, and armor favors an aggressive comp, so like a comp that can hold forward at you and like make fights happen. We have a Hydra and a Squeezer. We're just gonna want to like stand back and punish them for pushing in with those weapons. So there's not a lot of people that are actually going to be using the armor. Secondly, in Rainmaker, armor is a little bit nerfed because the Rainmaker carrier cannot get the armor. So it's probably its weakest mode. And thirdly, like Bab is talking about, bomb pressure is really important. It's the most useful tool on defense. I've said it before and I'll say it again. A Splat Bomb user can 1v4 defend the Rainmaker, which is insane. And also, it's really important for getting pop. If you have lethal bombs, it does more damage to the shield, and it's just a really fast, efficient way to get the pop. You'll usually see pop happen in under 2 seconds with a team that has a bunch of lethal bombs and is ready to go for it. So, I will remake room.
So, Bab, I pick it up when I don't have special. Or when I absolutely have to, like at the end of last
Isn't
game.
your special splashdown?
Mm-hmm. I still use it beforehand, whether it's just to paint or get something clear with bombs and stuff in front of the Rainmaker.
I mean, somebody else picking up the Rainmaker, you know, we're sacrificing maybe a rain or bubbles or a missile for a splashdown. Like, I feel like the value, like the opportunity cost isn't there.
The other thing is I am also using my main weapon on these maps because it's quite effective with the range.
Yeah, that I can agree with. It is nice to have
I use the
fire
splashdown
support
for
from that.
clearing. Otherwise, I'm using my main weapon to clear the path. And the chicken to help scout where they are. But I do prefer to keep the splashdown when I have it to help clear a path if there's something contesting the Rainmaker because I'm usually closest to it. Alright, that's a blob. Object Shredder blob.
This is a more passive comp.
That is a respawn Punisher Hydra. Watch where its positions.
Blob is top right, bombing it.
Can I tell you top left?
The Hydra's by me.
Blaster's watching top right, Hydra's
Yep.
top left. Hydra should go down here. Or not. Did I not have range? I thought I could hit that for sure.
I got the Hydra.
But
We're 3 down.
I died to everything else. Wait, I didn't get the Hydra? What'd I get? Oh, I got the Tri-Slosher.
Okay, they're going top right. Careful, Jamie. The rain's coming in. I don't think you survive long if you stay there.
But you would aim higher.
Hydra's down. Tri's down. Blob on right, one in mid.
Rain's forcing them back into mid, but they see me, so I can't just approach. Blob watching
Blob's
from right.
close.
They dropped the fish tank.
They
They fell into fish tank.
fell into fish tank. Nice. Blob's down. Oh, I found the blaster.
Try in their court.
The blaster is dead.
No one's coming closed.
Hydra
guess we're
dropped.
pushing?
Hydra dropped. There's two there that Bab. There we go. I've got their top right.
Raining
right
at the
now.
blaster.
Are you guys near? Oh god! 2 top right again. I missed the blaster.
We're behind. Okay, we're wiped.
It's alright. Oh, I got missile.
That's a really early missile.
It is a really early missile. Watch our close.
Oh,
Oh, yep, hydras
So
are
good.
closed.
I'm gonna flank it from mid if I can.
I got
Blob
the
might be
hydra.
watching.
I got the hydra. I beat it.
One top
Okay.
left, 2 top
Blob
bottom.
got me in mid, so
Fab, I'm right here.
still 2 mid. Maybe 1
Yeah,
sneaky.
Slosh. One, they're sneaky, yeah, Slosh.
Okay, they came up. Nice, that's 1.
No.
Just Hydra and Blob. Blob. Is that rain? Yeah, they used rain. Nobody picked up. I'm gonna grab.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Hydra top right. I'm down.
I see him.
They don't have anybody on the left side right now.
Blob is there.
1 in mid, 2 in mid.
Got blasters.
1 top right, top right.
Going right.
Got 2.
Blob's on the
Go
left
back,
side.
go.
Dropped on you.
Got Jabab.
Chabab.
It keeps painting the ground in front of me. I couldn't get up over the lip.
There's a blaster and a hydra watching that. I need bombs over it. Now there's a blob up here. Oh, the bubbles, yes.
Cramming it down the cram hole.
There you go.
There we go.
Ah,
It's all good.
I
There we go.
missiled. You are gonna be on me on the top left.
Oh. Well, this should be fun.
You're okay, you're okay, you're okay. I got you.
We're top. Can
Oh,
we have
behind
those
me.
close?
Watch out, Jim.
Where?
Behind
They're
on their clothes.
closed.
Oh god, this hydra.
Rainmaker's watching me. Hydra's
Rainmaker's
watching
not
me as
watching
well.
me.
Yep,
Nice. Hydra in the court. Hydra forced
Oh
out.
shoot, I thought we were gonna get that before I could get it. I wanna jump to Bab.
Try really weak, but I didn't get them, and Blob's above, so I'm not gonna force it.
There's one on the right.
Yeah, top right.
Push them out.
I'm down to top.
3 on the top right. Oh my god, Jamie. I was gonna say. Oh shoot! Again, top right, 3.
Jumping out.
Bab is like right in behind them, and I don't think they know. But
They know. They know.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
they're
know,
turning around.
okay.
There's one in there closed. Let's try.
I'm gonna be Hydra's on the top right with armor. Just paint mid. Make sure they can't go forward. I'm throwing chickens at them.
Oh, I have missiles.
There's
Missiling
2
all
below
4.
that wall.
That's Slosh.
Nice. They're on their ramp stuck.
I'm gonna get rain out.
I got the
Rainmaker.
Hydra. Traded.
Just
There you
Blob,
go.
just Blob. Nice.
There you go.
Cool. I'll take that last Hydra trade.
That was a funny. I bombed. I wall cheese.
I had one of those. I had one of those
Blob.
standoffs with the Hydra and our closed. They were literally right in front of me while I was on Sponge, and I'm like, I have to start firing before the peak.
Thanks for the
And-
carry, guys.
What do you mean? There's just some zeros hidden.
After a point.
Anyway, we had a peak off, and I'm just like, this is funny. However, I won because I had right peak.
If you're gonna switch, Jamie, I'll go K-Shot instead.
Yeah, I can switch. And
What are you
Debbie
switching
has
to?
this because I feel like I need to work on the aim stuff still.
Okie
Because my aim has been feeling, not gonna lie, my aim has been feeling really off these past couple of games. Partly just because I haven't played today. But
I haven't
Huh?
either.
I know. I know. But it's all good.
So I should probably
Yeah.
be working with Jamie here and I mean, it works just because of the comms situation, but also because of the weapon comps for Bab to be going off and doing their own thing.
Yep, that's what Bav is going to be doing.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
of course!
This is really fun.
This is the very first team we played, by the way.
We played them a couple times, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if we played them more than once or not. No!
All right, Jamie and I already separated. There we go.
One of the blobs is weak in their court.
Stop rain.
One on the wall over here. Got him. Traded. Just one.
Do that.
Oh, on me.
Last one's over there. Just push forward. Just push
There you
forward.
go. They jump. No, I thought I jumped in.
There's two above me.
Perfect.
There it is.
This is a perfect game for aim stuff, you know?
I was like, what is a blob's weakness? The wall! So I hugged it with my life.
Your gem. It's Froppy? Wait, Hikami is Froppy?
Huh?
Huh?
Unless a Froppy is with Hikami?
Or floppy hack.
Do you guys like know each other or?
Oh,
that
is it floppy like?
Oh,
okay.
Froppy. It being one of the players we were up against. Okay, that was unclear.
Okay, that makes so much more sense now.
Okay. Anyway, it is time for us to get into the VOD review here. So thank you everybody for playing. And now get out. No, just kidding. But more kindly.
Leave.
But don't. And but don't. There we go. I've unceremoniously kicked them out. Emphasis on the unceremoniously part. So now we're going to move the webcam way over so that you can actually see me. There we go. And it is time to VOD review. This is going to be a tower control VOD review for Jambler, who is a vanilla Splattershot player. So let me get the scene set up here for us. Should be this, I think. There it is. All right. And as per usual, I will not be able to see chat. I'd need to invest in a 2-monitor setup for that, and I'm back in the dark ages. So for the time being, I will not be able to see you guys, but hope you guys can enjoy this and learn something from it. So Jambler, like I've mentioned earlier, will not be with us because Jambler is in a time zone that it's really late for them right now. So they're just going to be seeing the recording here, but I'll still be using, second-person pronouns referring to them when I say you, so that, when they do see it, it's kind of coaching specifically for them. So let's get started here. It's tower control on Schellendorf. That is loud. I'm probably just going to turn that all the way off. Well, no, not quite all the way off. Maybe a little bit quieter. There. That's pretty good. And I'm going to also do this so that that's not playing through my mic. Okay. Jambler on the vanilla Splattershot. A little bit about the weapon first of all. I play Splattershots. That is my main weapon. Both T-Tech and K-Shot are my most played. Now, you'll notice I didn't say vanilla Splattershot. I personally think that the vanilla Splattershot is outclassed in the current meta. It has a great main weapon. I love the main weapon. And burst bombs are phenomenal for it. The reason you play that weapon is because you want to play burst bomb. Because splashdown is definitely the weak point of it. Splashdown is a special which sometimes works. It will occasionally get you some space, maybe even splat someone. That is about the most you can say for it, because the higher level you get, the more likely you are to just get shot out of the sky. It's also, even if Splashdown were completely invincible all the way up and all the way down, it would still be pretty avoidable. It's very telegraphed. A lot of weapons have the mobility to just get out of the radius that would splat you. Very few situations where someone's going to be mispositioning so hard that it's unavoidable. So lots of different reasons why it's not great. It is best used after super jumps because it is not punishable. You can't shoot it out of the sky while it's coming down from a super jump. So that's one advantage of it. It's also pretty nice from very high up. So you see a lot of splashdown usage on specifically Piranha Pit because you can hop off the conveyors, which you can get up to pretty quickly, and splash down from way higher up, and it takes a much longer range weapon to be able to shoot those down. So sometimes you can get them off for free that way. It has situational use in Piranha Pit zones. But for the most part, that special is just relatively weak, and that's the reason that you won't see this very often. Another reason you won't see this very often, I did say it was outclassed. That means that there are other weapons that you would choose over it for the niche that it plays. Neo Splash is a weapon. Neo Splash also has Burst Bomb, is also about the same range. The one advantage that the Splattershot has here is that it's longer range, but in its favor, the Neo Splash has a special that works, has Burst Bombs as well, so same kind of niche there. And on top of that, so the fact that it has a Bomb Rush plus a Burst Bomb means that it is a much better idea, in my opinion, to run sub power up on it, and you get benefit both ways for that, so that's super nice. It helps the Burst Bomb, but it also helps the special. But going beyond that, it has an MPU build that makes it almost 3-shot, so you have an extra shot that you have to hit with the Neo Splash, but the fire rate is faster, it has the MPU, that evens it out quite a bit. It is also a lightweight weapon, which means it is faster to zip around, which is super duper nice. It paints a little bit better, and on top of all of that stuff, it also has perfect jump accuracy. When you're in the air with the Neo Splash, you just don't have any shots straying off to the side at all. You will always hit exactly what you're aiming at, which is insane. Very few weapons have anything like that. So Neo Splash has so many advantages that the vast majority of Slayer players are going to be playing that instead. That is all that I'm going to be saying about it from here on out. I'm just going to be giving advice based on the situations you end up in. This is a match which it's one of those matches that's a little frustrating because Jambler here will top frag and still lose. So we're going to be talking a little bit about one of the things is how they could be fragging even harder and carrying even harder than they already are. But another one is about the way that you play the objective in tower control. So we're going to be talking about both of those things. So on their team, they've got a couple of mid-range weapons, the Bamboo and the Range Blaster, and then they've got a Junior, which is super nice. So they have a bunch of paint to work with, especially since they've got a Range Blaster. They're going to need all of that extra paint to make sure that their blaster can move around. So that's a pretty well-balanced team comp for solo queue. And the other team has a pretty well-balanced comp as well. It's a little bit low on paint on the other team. The only really good painting weapon they have is the Neo Splash. Remix can paint a bit, but the K-Pro is definitely lacking, and the Roller really relies on other people to paint for it. So one thing that's going to be super helpful is to keep the map painted so that the Roller can't get free reign and move wherever it wants to. That's always something that I'm paying attention to. And it's nice that we are checking map right here. We've got... interesting, an ability doubler build for the MPU, I would assume. That I never saw that before, but that's interesting. Couple of drop rollers, and we will see that Jambler is in fact running drop roller as well. Drop roller is generally considered to be outclassed by stealth jump for competitive play. It definitely can save your life, and it can be nice coming out of a special like Splashdown or like Inkjet for being able to move yourself. There are definitely cases for it to be used with specific specials like that. But for the most part, you're going to get more value, especially against players who can aim well or are good at timing bombs with stealth jump, because drop roller doesn't save you from a well-timed bomb, and stealth jump can save you from that in that the opponent just doesn't see that you're landing in the first place. So that's generally a reason you would use stealth jump over drop roller. Drop roller can let you take some more aggressive starting points for your specials. So if you're trying to use ink jets right up in their faces, right up in their base, that can be something that might get you out of a bad situation if your team is ready to follow up with you and they're not double teaming you while you land. Like, there's a lot of ifs there, but in a coordinated environment, I feel like there is a case for it in some situations. Most of the time, you don't see it. All right.
Hey, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Got a question from the chat. They're wondering, what is the rank for this match for Jambler playing in?
I actually don't remember checking. Let
Ooh.
me see. There it is. S+2 is what we're looking at.
Ah.
I knew the 1770 number. There's your Glico power for for those who watched the video on the Splatoon ranking system. That's the average of all 8 players. Their Glico ratings is 1770, which puts them well outside of X rank range for the time being. Sometimes you will see S+ lobbies up in the 1900s or even 2K range where you can actually find X rank level players, but this is probably not going to have any X rank level players based on the average we saw.
Royal Fish won the bet for everyone in chat.
I mean, it was on screen before, the 1770s, so that should give you at least a little information. Anyway, one thing that I want to point out that I really like that they do here is when they check map, you can see that there is this long trail heading towards the right, and they paint the wall, but then they immediately go right. I'm assuming that what's happening here is they're seeing, okay, the majority of my opponents are coming out on the right-hand side, so I'm going to respond by going in this direction. Now, one of the things that we said in the title we're going to be talking about is taking fights. So what I mean by taking fights is your positioning and the way you line yourself up so that you can hit shots before your opponent does. And I want to talk about this particular engagement. I think this is a really good example of a number of different concepts, some of which we've talked about before, but I'll try to cover at least briefly for those who might be new, and because I saw a number of people in chat have never been to one of these before, so I want to make sure that when I'm using terminology, we all understand. So the first thing I want to talk about here is stealth. This player here is painting off in this direction, which shows that they're probably not aware that there might be a threat to them coming from mid. They could have seen this paint trail and immediately been nervous about it. I probably wouldn't have ever dropped down in this position, having seen the paint trail that you've left in mid. But since they're dropped down here, you can probably assume, especially since they're not trying to get fall-off shots over here, or they're not trying to paint defensively by aiming in your general direction, they don't know you're here. But they know you're here as soon as those... Oh, come on. There we go. The spacebar didn't do what I wanted it to do. They know you're here as soon as this shot gets fired in front of them. Or they should know. If they don't know, bad awareness. But this shot right here should alert them there is someone right here behind this. And in fact, they should know that it is either the Splattershot or the Junior. Probably the Splattershot given how far it went. So they have a lot of information on you because of that shot, and that's a shot you don't need to fire at all. The way that you probably want to take this fight is you paint up to about this line right here that I'm making with my mouse. You don't paint any further so that they don't see that there's any purple paint coming from around the corner. You stop, you stand up, and you right side peek around this ledge. When I say right side peek, again, for those who might not know, this game does have peek advantage, which means that the Inkling will hold the weapon to one side of their body. It's not dead even in the middle of them. They can actually look around a corner to the right and start shooting earlier than if they look around to the left. If they look around to the right, they're going to get around the wall faster and be able to hit shots while they're still partially behind cover. Whereas if they're peeking around to the left side, they're more exposed. If you right side peek from here, you still have the range to hit them from there. They don't really have much of an escape route unless they start painting like now. And again, we've established they're probably not looking at you. And you're behind cover, so you have a much better chance of hitting your shots because they're a sitting duck. They're out here without any cover than they have hitting shots on you because half of you is going to be blocked by this box. So that's the way you really want to be taking this, especially since, they could keep themselves safe by backing up a little bit, but they've signaled that they're going to be painting forward and moving forward. And so you know that they're going to be moving into you, so you can get yourself in a position, right side peek around this box, and pre-fire them. You can start shooting where you know they're about to head, and just hold down that fire button. You're behind cover. That's a pretty high percentile fight for you to take. Should be a pretty easy fight win for you here. Now, because you fire those shots, they now know you're here. They start moving a little bit, and I don't even know if they paid enough attention to that. They might still not know you're here because they're kind of like frazzled looking around here. They start moving forward. They run right into you, and they get picked. But even then, there were a few shots that you missed. And so those few shots right there, if this is an X-rank level player, they can actually win this from here. So on your way up, you'll get punished for little errors like firing those shots and missing these first few more and more. Also for peeking around this corner when you don't have to. Again, if you stay on this side right here, he's still coming to you, and he still has a harder time shooting you than if you're out in the open right in front of him like this. So that's kind of what I would try to be doing. I would also try to be setting my aim to shoot just a little bit in front of him so that he gets cut off, his feet get painted, and then as soon as he's getting cut off, he's getting hit by my shots. So that way you're not going to, not as likely to miss. But all of that aside, you do get a good pick. You notice that your opponent was watching you, you come out, you punish that, and then you start moving forward. You're looking for, okay, is there any threat to the tower if we were to start pushing right now? You notice someone shooting from above, there's someone in front of it. You probably don't want to be getting on it yourself, and you probably need to be clearing somebody else out first. So you start moving over to the left-hand side, because that's where the tower has to push. You know that your team has advantage now. You have a 4v3 situation, so they're more likely to be able to push the tower, and you're going to try and increase that advantage, get some paint control in this area so that you can really get a solid push off. Right from here, this heavy really should see you, but they don't. They had line of sight on you. You were standing up and shooting shots. Really, it is on them to see you here, and they should really be, if they're going to drop, they should be getting charge and backing up in this direction so that when you push around the corner, they can get you. But they are distracted like nobody's business. They don't see you here, and so you're able to just easily shoot them from here. But these shots that you're missing here actually do give them enough time, potentially, to walk out of this situation and kite you. A lot of Splatlings run a lot of run speed, and this might be a situation where you miss enough shots that they can walk back fast enough if they react in time and actually have range on you. And in that situation, that you're outranged, you need to not be pushing into them. You need to just get back behind cover. Now, again, they don't react very quickly at all to any of this that's going on. Don't expect that sort of a push to work every time as you get further and further in the ranks. This is a big mistake on their part in terms of awareness. So they deserve to get punished for it, and good job going and getting them. But even those few missed shots early on, that can turn things in their favor later on if you're not careful. So if you know that your opponent isn't looking at you, take an extra fraction of a second and just make sure you've got your aim on before you fire the first shot. It is very important to not give your position away until you're already doing damage. Okay, so you've got 2 down now, and we should definitely be looking to get the tower moving. Now, one thing I want to point out about what happens next. We hear this bomb a long time before we see it. You can hear it from around the corner. You can hear that it's relatively close. And knowing that audio cue, I would probably be just a little bit more careful pushing in just in case this exact thing is happening. Now, sometimes you just get hit by a random bomb, you know? And that's what happens here. You're like, okay, we got 2 picks. Let's go. We got to get this tower moving. Where's the team? What's stopping them? Okay, the roller's in the way. Let's go get them. You know, I like this thinking. You're trying to mobilize the tower. You're trying to take advantage of your picks to get things moving in terms of the objective. And that is good. Just causes you to be the tiniest bit overzealous. But even so, you know, a 2-for-1 trade, that's not bad. That should be enough that your teammates should be able to start moving in, start getting advantages here. It takes an outplay from the enemy team at this point to prevent you guys from pushing. Unfortunately, they're not playing it as aggressively as they could be. They know exactly where the roller is, so there's only one player who's unknown. They're all in about the same spot. They could just push forward and start taking advantage of that numbers advantage that they've earned. They do actually get someone, which is nice, so they're keeping the enemy team staggered. They get another one. Okay, so maybe the fights that they were taking were good ones. But they are not paying a lot of attention to the tower right now. They finally get that one. Okay, so this is still huge stagger from the enemy team. The Booyah is going to delay a little bit. It shouldn't be able to delay a lot. And your job, I think you've got the right idea here. Your job is to put yourself in between the tower and anybody who's going to try and stop it. You're thinking that, you know, most of the resistance is probably going to come from this direction, but they keep coming through mid, and your team keeps getting stopped from mid. So you see the heavy, and you're just trying to make sure that the first checkpoint is safe, and you're trying to push them back. Now, from this position, mission accomplished, right? You've got first checkpoint. It's going to start moving more. So you don't need to be putting any more pressure on the heavy. And let's talk about this next fight in the same way that we talked about that opening one, because there is a pretty major error that is made in terms of positioning here. So with weapons that outrange you, you always have to be worried about being in the open while they're looking at you. If you're in that position, you should always lose. They should always put themselves at a position where they can use their range advantage and not let you get close enough. So knowing that there was just a heavy that went over here, that we have no vision of them. Now we have vision of them. And knowing that they're out of my range, this is something that if I'm going to push it, I'm going to keep really, really close to a wall and make sure that they're looking someplace else before I go. As soon as you kind of like signal your intent here, they're going to be watching you, and they have the advantage in the fight. You only just got in range. They already have a shot coming out of their weapon, and they splat faster than you. You're relying on them to miss shots as you take this engagement. This is a really easy position for them to shoot you out of, and you're lucky that they didn't get you out of it. Again, X-rank level backline players will absolutely hit those shots. But even though you didn't get shot out of the splashdown, they were able to back all this distance away. Because again, remember, most splatlings are going to run some run speed. And so they're not going to get hit by the splashdown. And now you have no cover, and you're out in the open against a weapon that outranges you. You lose that fight 100% of the time against a player of even somewhat lower skill level than you. So what would I have done differently? Well, first of all, I do like the idea of pushing through here and keeping some pressure from this direction, because going back a little bit, this area up to the upper left is the premier spot for the enemy team to defend second checkpoint. It has height advantage over where the tower has to go. Players can even jump directly onto the tower at a certain point in that path, and they can see anywhere around this whole wall here and get shots on anybody from there. It's really, really difficult to defend when somebody's up here, or to push when somebody's up here defending it. So one of the ways that you can offset this is by flanking it from going through the middle. Because they've got pressure from in front, and they have to pay attention to pressure from behind, and that can kind of force them away and give the tower time to get through. So in principle, in a vacuum, I don't disagree with the idea to try and push from this direction. The problem is that you've got a backliner who has seen you. And so if you're going to make this push, it's going to have to be taking advantage of terrain somehow. The best way to do this is probably to go really, really close to this wall and hug it so that you have cover, and they can't really get a good angle until you get really, really close to them. And if you're really, really close to them, then you have taken away their range advantage from them, and now it's more of an even fight. I still don't like my odds if they have time to spin up, because they do have a faster time to splat if they get their shots on. But that gives you a much better opportunity than if you were to go in the open here. You should be dead before the splashdown goes out, probably. Like, I'm gonna slow this down, and let's look at how many shots they have to miss. Okay, so let's see here. So that's... They're shooting already, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. They miss 18 shots before you even press splashdown. They had probably 6 or 7 more shots during the time that you were in the air, maybe more than that. And all of those shots miss, which is the only reason that you're able to get away with this splashdown in the first place. Now, once you use the splashdown, you need to recognize you have 0 advantages over this player. The most that you can do to even damage them from here is throw a burst bomb. And that's not a bad idea, because if they took any indirect damage from the splashdown, a direct might be enough to take them out. I don't see them getting painted enough to think that that might be the case from this. Yeah, I don't think they're super weak from that. So you probably need more. So from this position, you need to be getting behind cover. There is no way you win this fight. It's basically 100-0 if you decide to push it across open ground against a weapon that has charge now and has range on you. So you should instead be using this cover right here. This is the only thing that can save your life in this situation. Chuck a burst bomb at them, maybe chuck 2 at them. They only have point sensors, so they can't really hit you over the top of this unless they have crazy, insane fall off, and you're not going to see that at this elo, this glicko, if you will. And you can still keep them busy and keep them from doing anything to the tower from that position, and still be putting on pressure with the burst bombs and maybe get a splat that way. But pushing in any further, you're just going to give yourself up. And now, on top of you being down, your teammate is down, and the heavy is going to be joining the fight. This is now a 4v2. You're going to lose this push for sure. All right. So teammate stays on and suicides for a few more points, gets it down to 65. Not terrible, but, you know, in that situation, 65, that's probably not a winning push under any circumstances on this map. So the better call for them might have been to just jump back to spawn, try to regroup with the rest of the team, because now your team is staggered, and they're going to be able to push through to 65 relatively quickly. I don't think that's those extra 4 points are really doing anything for them. So, weird little thing here. First of all, I'm not sure that super jumping in when you're that close to spawn is even faster. I would have to time it out to figure out how fast you can get out, but you can probably get to this position faster if you just don't super jump. I'd have to test. Anyway, what I'm talking about here is this corner here. If you want to paint this corner, which I think is a very good idea, good place to hide in, and also gets you a little bit more special charge, you want to start from further back here and kind of sweep so that you cover all of it. You only start painting once you've got, like, only a third of it in front of you, so you don't get nearly as much paint that way. Just paint the whole thing. Just make sure, you know, you've got that corner to run back to if you want to. So your teammate goes down in front of you, and there's really not a lot you can do about that. They're kind of just wandering forward into enemy ink. So from here, the burst bomb that you throw, you see, it looks like you're trying to aim it at that guy, and I think you actually do hit them. But then this guy shows up, so you change your angle to watch them. I think when you go in here, you should probably be... So you see that there's all this green on the bottom left. When they have a roller on their team, the roller could easily just be sharking like right behind this ledge and come out and get you. You're putting yourself out in the open instead of using cover against a weapon that might one-shot you. Now, you're lucky that the opponent was looking at your teammate over here, which is the wrong direction for them to be paying attention to. The teammate was dead anyway. But even then, they almost have time to, like, change their aim to swing that over towards you or your teammate. So, again, taking fights, you want to make sure that you have enough cover that if the fight goes badly, if you end up in a bad situation, you can back up, and you're not out in the open making yourself an easy target. All right, so from here, we've got one player on the tower and one player going this way. This player right here is out of play for the time being. They're going to be back in play in about 3 seconds when they're able to get back around, and maybe that's a threat to a backliner. But if you go after them, you're chasing after them. You're chasing behind them. It's going to take you a significant amount of time to get back there, and that's going to put you out of play. So while you go and get this pick, and you do get the pick, which is the best case scenario, I don't think this honestly should happen. I think the only reason you're able to get this is that they get caught on the corner here, and they don't actually get over the top. If they get over the top, then you're chasing them for even longer, and they have your teammates back before you ever catch up to them. So I think this is more a mistake on their part than it is a smart play on your part here. And the problem with this is that there's still someone on the tower, and you saw them, and they booyah'd over here. If they're out of play, just paint this path back here so that they can't come back and hit you in the back, and then turn your attention to the one player who's left on the tower. Yeah, they're booyahing, and that might waste a little bit of time for you, but you can fire into the booyah, you can be painting mid around them so you cut off their escape route, you can be stopping the tower push here instead of dealing with this guy, and they don't get through that checkpoint. So your priority is the checkpoint there, especially since in that situation they were so far past you that chasing them, they probably should have been able to get away from you and get something done before you ever caught up to them. And at that point, you might as well just focus ahead. So now you're in a position where you're in middle, most of your teammates are on the right-hand side, and the tower is pushing towards them. Your teammates are going to pinch, or I always say pinch. They're going to form pincer movements, or they're going to pinch with you on the tower if you come in from mid. You push in on the left, they have to look behind the tower while your teammates are shooting them from in front. Or if they focus on in front, then you shoot them from behind. They really don't have any place to hide if you come in from this direction. This is a really powerful place for you to attack from. And instead, you throw one burst bomb at them and then run away. So not only are you putting yourself out of play a little bit, in that they have a few seconds to be pushing the tower, and they actually do get lead at this point, but also, now that you're in this position, they can all look in one direction and see your whole team. It's just this guy and you, and they're at exactly the same angle. If they just sit behind the pillar here, they don't have to worry about any of you. You're lucky that this booyah doesn't kill you. It probably, you know, if it was positioned just a little bit further forward, you would either get zoned off the tower or just splatted. So poor placement on their part, and you're able to get the pick and get off, but that is not a guaranteed play for sure. If you're putting pressure from this side, though, maybe they throw that booyah bomb behind the tower, and your teammates are able to do plenty of things with, you know, pushing in from in front. Maybe you're able to draw them out away from the tower so that your teammates have a 3v2 or something like that. That's definitely the better angle to take it from. In general, the rule that I'm acting on here is always take an angle that forces the opponent to look two different ways. Make them fight a two-front war. Make it so that their attention is distracted between your teammates and you when you take fights. That's not to say come in, you know, from the complete opposite side of the map from your teammates, because that puts you out of play for too long. But in that situation, you went out of your way to come all the way back around and get closer to your teammates than, like, to get it on a worse angle than you were already at from your teammates. So you can be close to them, you know, if somebody's over here and sees the opponents are turning left and shooting at you, that's the perfect opportunity for them to drop down and take that fight. Because if this guy right here is directing his attention to the left, he's not shooting ahead of him, and this teammate can take that just fine. And as long as you survive long enough, that's a 2v1, that's an easy pick on this guy. Another thing to be thinking about is when you're throwing burst bombs, remember that those are giving you away, just like those first few shots that you fired in the very first engagement we talked about. Be very careful about throwing those out there willy-nilly. Unless you're planning on trying to get a double burst bomb direct on this guy, I would say this burst bomb is actually doing more harm than good because it's giving away your position without having any threat of this guy getting splatted. The absolute best that happens here is the range blaster hits an indirect on this guy and is able to capitalize on the extra damage that you've done to them. And they're not in position to do that because there's a whole ton of green ink behind you here. There's no way that they can swim up and hit that in time. So that burst bomb, you can see the Splatling actually looks up and now is like, okay, making a mental note, there's somebody up here now. So now you're in an even worse position than you were if you had just kind of sat here for a second. Another thing that you want to be careful about in this position is that you don't have any paint at your feet. And so you rely really heavily on this patch behind you, and this is all green right now. If you need to refill your ink tank or get away quickly, this is your escape route. You need to have this painted before you try to aggress. So I would make sure that that's fixed up. You do that a little bit here, but you could have done that a lot more effectively in the same amount of time by aiming higher up and sweeping left to right and doing those little rectangles here. Let me really quickly pop over to gameplay so that I can show you the kind of painting pattern that you're looking for. I do this occasionally, but I haven't done it recently. Just want to show it off for people who haven't seen. This is how you want to paint with a shooter weapon in general, particularly the Splattershot. Okay, so let's say you have a rectangle that goes from this line over to the wall and this line over to the wall. So what you do is basically you put one patch there and then you turn and start looking for the fight. And what you could have done in about the same amount of time is that, and then turn and taken the fight. And that covers so much more of it than just the little speck. Because you like turn your camera, look down, and then shoot. Just give him one of these, and then you have all sorts of room to work with. In general, what you're doing with this weapon to paint optimally is you try and find the biggest rectangle you can, and you make lines to fill that rectangle in, like that.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's asking, will this work for Zap as well?
Yes, this is the pattern for Zap, and with Zap, you have to do this particular up and down action that I'm doing a little bit more. So with the Splattershot, if you just hold ZR and walk from left to right, you cover it up pretty well, but there are still these little patches of ink in the middle that are going to slow you down the tiniest bit. And the advantage of going up-down like this is that you smooth more of those out. This is much more of a completely full rectangle. Now, if you try and... Oops. If you try and just walk left to right with the end zap, the painting pattern is significantly worse with the Splattershot. You've got a lot more of this noise in the middle. And so with the end zap, it's even more imperative to be going up-down to be smoothing those out. You can see, just like with the Splattershot, it is significantly more smooth, and you're a lot more likely to have a good line to swim through if you're painting using that particular method. So I'm tilting up and then down a little bit with that particular rhythm, and that's going to give you the best options there. Now, this is a little different. That's how you want to paint for special, or paint up a lot of space really quickly. If you're painting for movement, that's different, obviously. You know, you don't want to move from left to right the whole way and then move forward. For movement, you start high and then move low. And that's the fastest way you're going to get a continuous line of paint in front of you. If you just paint forward and then try to swim through, you're going to get that gap in the middle. But same amount of shots, and you do that up-down thing, and you're a lot less likely to get that. So this is the optimal, you know, speed run to mid kind of movement. And then, obviously, if you're, you know, in enemy ink or if you're in combat, you kind of want to be changing directions as often as you possibly can. And the best movement for that is going to be looking down at your feet, firing one shot, swimming. This is the most maneuverable that you can be when you're not in your own ink, doing this sort of thing. So if you're stuck in enemy ink, it's this sort of thing. And one of the nice things about that is that you're recharging your ink tank the whole time you're doing this, because you're shooting only one shot, so not a lot of ink being used, and then you're swimming again, which is going to recharge some of it. So I can do this for a really long time without actually running out of ink. Like you can see, my ink tank is still pretty much full. So that's your, like, combat movement when you're on unfriendly territory, whether that's unpainted or in enemy ink. Now, sometimes you can get away with trusting the weapon to paint your feet if you fire a few shots and then start swimming. So there, on like the 4th shot, it painted my feet. So you can like fire a few shots, realize you're in danger, and then move around a little bit. That's got some situational uses. But if you just got to get out of there, this is the way to do it. So little movement tutorial there with the shooter weapons. There are some weapons that are really slow at doing that, and so you don't tend to want to do it. So for example, like something more like a jet squelcher, like this is still your fastest way to get around, and it's about as quickly. But if you're trying to like paint a line in front of you to swim through, it's going to take a little bit longer to make that line, because you've got shots that are landing a lot further away, and they have to fill in the whole gap in between, so it's a little bit less maneuverable, but it's still better than the average backliner is going to be for sure for something like that. All right, so we got there from talking about the painting pattern, and the biggest thing to say about this is simply when you paint, if when you're going into the I am going to paint this patch mode, rectangles. Clear out that entire rectangle there. If you were to do that, then you would have a lot more room to work with right now. It's like you're seeing, rather than aiming further ahead, you're aiming straight down. So the shots are not going to fall as far away from you. So we can actually, this is something I should probably also show on stream. So let's just get a Splattershot. Okay, so if I fire ahead of me, this paints that much. If I fire a spot right in front of me for like 10 times as long, it paints that much. This one is better because it painted a lot more and a lot fewer shots. So if you're going to be painting and, you're not worried about the enemies knowing where you are, you want to get special, something like that, aim at eye level. So aim as far out as your squid is looking with his eyes, and that's how you're going to get the most out of it. That seems like a little thing, but that's something which easily could have made the difference between you surviving this encounter and not surviving it. Like, you don't have this painted, which means you can't back up. You don't have this painted, which means you can't move forward. You can only go this way or this way through this patch of ink that you've painted here. And it all gets painted over anyway in just like one shot from them. So you're really forced out to play pretty hard, but fortunately your teammate is able to get a pick in that time, and so not a huge deal. Here's another movement thing that we should talk about. When you decide to drop down from here, you jump. Jumping there is a really, really big mistake, and I'll show you exactly why in about the most objective way I can. So, we're going to go frame by frame here. This Splatling, we've already established, knows where you are. They saw you when you threw the burst bomb at them, and also on top of that, this Splatling has point censored you. So, they have 2 reasons to know that you are up here. So they should know exactly where you are. And honestly, I'm surprised they're not already aiming at you. But you start jumping about now. So we'll call this the start of the jump animation. They've fired 1 shot, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 shots before you even get to the point where you have dropped as far as you would have if you just walked off. This jump serves no purpose. It puts you in the air for longer, where you are not able to touch the ground and move around, left, right, strafe, anything like that. And you're already marked, so this gives the Splatling more opportunities to shoot at you. So those 7 shots, even if they take the time it takes, to fire 3 shots to snap over to you and start firing in your direction, they can still splat you before you even have walked off the ledge. If you had walked off the ledge, so let's move that forward a little bit. So I'll say it's about here. So if you had walked off the ledge, you're down on the ground. Okay, we're not able to see their shots anymore, but you're down on the ground way, way faster than if you jump right there. Also, because you jump, you stay in about the same spot in the air for longer. Your acceleration has to go back all the way down to 0 and then back up to get you down onto the ground. So not only are you in the air for way longer than you have to be, while you're in the air, you're in the same spot. You're an easier target for a longer amount of time. So if you're going to go off a ledge, resist the temptation, the impulse that gets set up in you by playing platformer games, and just walk off. Don't jump off unless you have somewhere you're trying to land on the other side. Stay in the air for as little time as possible in general. Being in the air is one of the most vulnerable positions you can be in Splatoon, because you just don't have access to your paint on the ground, and you're a bigger target that way. All right. So you've made this big jump, which, again, very visible. You're also point censored, so pushing these guys is a bit risky. I would be trying to get some space painted for myself and get behind cover somewhere. But you pull off a splashdown. At X rank, this K-Pro 100% shoots you out of the sky for this. They 100% have the range to do it. They're right next to you. They probably get one shot even on your way up because you're so close to them as you go up. This is not going to work going on, later on in the game, but they're not able to get out of it. They get splatted, so works out. So from this position, you have one down, and your job as a Slayer in tower control is, I want to keep the enemy team from being able to stop my teammates on the tower. You play your job really well in that you very rarely get on the tower, which I like. Your position is given away when you're on the tower. Somebody knows, oh, there's someone on the tower right now, and so they have the location of at least one of your teammates figured out from that. You, being a short-range weapon who needs to close distance with people, don't want your position given away. And you also are the best weapon equipped to push forward on your entire team so that you're in the enemy team's way from getting to the tower. That's how you stop them from stopping your tower push. You get in between them and the tower. You form a buffer so that your teammates... you're that meme where the soldier is like putting his arms out and getting daggers thrown at him and stuff to protect a sleeping person. That is you as the Slayer in tower control. That's what you need to be doing. So what you want to do is paint up a really safe space around where the tower has to push. You want it to take so long for them to paint into your ink before they can get to the tower that it's a huge risk for them to do that your teammates can see it coming, that they're discouraged from trying it. So you can paint up probably about up to here, but then I would start moving left. I would start moving towards the first checkpoint and trying to get paint down on the ground from there. You are the front line. You are the first person who's going to get there. So one of your jobs is, when I get there, I want to make that space where there's definitely going to be a fight. You're definitely going to have to fight for at least one of these 2 checkpoints. I need to make that space as cleared out as possible, as advantageous as possible, so we can win that fight once we get to it. So you want to be thinking ahead. Where's the tower about to go, and what do I need to do to get there? It looks like what you might be doing, because you do this later on, you might be trying to get up on the tower and jump across to the right-hand side, which isn't a bad play. That's something that is a really strong thing for Slayers to do, to get up into the enemy base and confront people before they can even get anywhere. And it looks like you just mess up the movement a little bit, and then you decide to go elsewhere. Throwing this burst bomb, probably not going to do anything. I would probably just be trying to move over to the left. And again, very small thing, very small inefficiency, but time is everything in this game. So this push is really risky. If this roller were watching anything at all, instead of just like rickrolling for over his own colored paint, what is he doing? Like, this flick I understand, but then the rolling here, why not just do a horizontal flick and cover all of this? That's strange to me. They could be trying to zone you. They could be trying to shoot you. This roller by themselves could just splat you right here, right now. The bomb rusher could return fire. You surprise them a little bit here because you've got a little bit of a smoke screen. So if it were... Oh, no, you don't surprise them because you shoot in front of them right here. These are those shots that I was talking about in that first engagement. You've shot from around this corner. They know there is someone right here watching this corner that could, in theory, push up to them. You've fired warning shots, basically. You don't ever want to fire warning shots. If you're going to push this person, you want to peek out from around this corner to the left, fire a line right in front of you, and then beeline straight to them. That gives them a lot less warning than, I'm going to fire my shots, and then I'm going to swim up to them, and then I'm going to beeline to them. That line right there, you could have painted that without having painted any of this in the middle. And that way, they wouldn't have known that you were coming in time. Once this person sees those shots go down, they need to be backing up a little bit. They've got bomb rush, right? So they can just back up and throw bombs at that spot and have better control over that range than they do standing right here. Like, there's zero reason for them to be standing this close. The reason I'm pointing out the mistakes they're making is that there are a lot of ways that this push could have gone wrong for you. The roller could have stopped it. This guy could have backed up, and you could have been pushing into green ink. There are a lot of reasons that they could have stopped you here that they didn't take advantage of. But you do get the one pick. Now, if you get one pick, that's the most that you really should be getting out of this position. This guy should be able to trade back, but they only managed to trade. So this does end up being a good position for you, or a good situation for you, but I would discourage you from making pushes like that in future. If you're going to go for them, if you're going to make that really quick play, recognize that it's probably going to be a one-for-one trade, and that you need to not fire warning shots ahead of time. The only reason this works is that neither of those players saw your warning shots and respected your zone control. And that's their mistake. All right. So the Booyah goes out. Your teammate is trying to take advantage of this number of players down to push the tower, but obviously they have to respect the Booyah bomb coming out, which they do, and then they look to get back on. That is a really good Booyah bomb from their team, by the way. They recognize they're at a numbers disadvantage, and so they stall out the numbers disadvantage by completely stopping the tower from moving. And in the time that it's going to take us to get back on the tower, their teammates are significantly closer to spawning or already back in. So really good play from the heavy there. Just kind of difficult for your team to contest at all. So you know that there's heavy up here on the top right, so that's something to bear in mind in case you end up in a situation where you need to take a sight line that they have. I love this fight right here. Again, the burst bomb, I guess maybe you're trying to cut them off from moving forward, but if I see that burst bomb go down, I'm backing up from here. I'm like, oh, nope, that's a warning shot. This, however, is really, really nice. You hit this burst bomb. I don't know if you needed to throw a burst bomb from this position or if you could have just started shooting right away. Your kill time with burst bomb and then comboing that with shots is significantly slower than just shooting them. And so the way that the damage works out, a burst bomb does 60 on a direct, I believe, and 35 on an indirect. And your shots do 35. So we'll do a little quick math here. If you hit a direct, you need to hit 2 shots because one of them is going to get them to 95, and then you need another one to splat them. You might be able to combo with another teammate's damage if that player is already hurt by something, but I wouldn't count on it most of the time. So anticipate that you're going to need Burst Bomb plus 2 shots off a direct. If you hit the indirect damage, it's just like you've added another shot's worth of damage onto them. So it's going to take, the same amount of time as if you hit the direct. So either way, it's a Burst Bomb plus 2 shots, and throwing one Burst Bomb and then starting to shoot your main weapon is way, way slower than shooting one shot and then shooting another shot. So you have to aim it anyway. Might as well just use the main weapon if you're in range too. The reason to use the Burst Bomb is if you're not in range yet, and you're going to throw the Burst Bomb and then move into range. So that might be the situation, if you hit your shot here. But at this point, since they're walking forward, probably can just shoot them. I don't know. Maybe you didn't have the information that they were walking forward. Maybe you were trying to cut them off from moving backwards. I don't hate the Burst Bomb in that situation, just for that reason. And your aim after this is impeccable. You just hit your first, I think, do you miss any shots at all on the start of that? I don't know if you do. Mashing the comma key. Okay, you miss one shot, and then you have your shots on. That's still really good. And all 3 of them hit in a row, too, which is another good thing. Like, you don't want to be missing shots in between the shots that hit. That gives your opponent significantly more time to get away. So, yeah, that one shot may be a little bit of a warning shot, but overall, you'd probably get most players in that position. It was only one shot that missed. They were looking someplace else. They just don't have the reaction time. All right, so you're painting up this area, and I like that you're trying to push this area somewhat. You've got this all painted. Now, the problem is that behind you, the tower has fallen. You do not have the support of your teammates pushing the tower here. You're in a 2v3 right now, and you putting yourself further forward, there's no way in heck that a junior by themselves is going to be able to push the tower with 3 of them up. And since you're out of play at this point, nothing the junior can do from there. So this whole push is a little bit doomed. You're separating yourself from your teammate. The tower is out in no man's land. They're more likely to be able to push it than you are. So at this point, might be a time to jump back. Maybe you try to shark somewhere and get in behind them when they start up a push. So you wait a little bit and wait until you're sure you're not seen and then go in, and maybe then you can pinch with your teammates and get something good done. The problem with this push right here, this guy's already pre-firing you. There's nobody else in this area. The tower, is theirs to control. The only reason they're shooting here is that they know you're here. They're already pre-firing. They're already putting shots over the place you have to go in order to get to them. And this is a K-Pro. Get in the habit, if you're not already, of looking at the weapon that your opponent is holding. Try to recognize that as quickly as possible so that you know the matchup. Because if this is a junior, yeah, you can probably push that. But this is a weapon that's longer range than you. This is a weapon that can just stand up here and shoot at you, and it will start hitting you before you start hitting it. Also, on top of this, you have to get up over a ledge, which means that there is some time being spent where you can be shot by them, but you cannot return shots yourself. So they have height advantage over you, they have range advantage over you, and they have the advantage that they can pre-fire you and you can't pre-fire them. So this is a losing fight right here. What you need to do is recognize on the wall, oh, I can't push this guy, and just drop off the wall and get out of there. Maybe you retreat back towards mid, maybe you try to shark down under here really stealthily, or maybe you just jump out and decide, okay, my teammates are down, this is an unsustainable push, there's nothing much I can do from here. Because you take this fight, this is a 100-0 fight. You don't hit any shots, they have their shots on already, you're swinging your aim around to get it on target in time before they do, and they already have it kind of pinpointed on you. Lots of reasons just never to take an engagement like that. So always be keeping an eye on what weapon you have, knowing what the situation is around you, and also just recognizing the numbers advantage probably would have kept you out of that fight too. Okay, so we jump in. You've got a teammate over to the left, so hopefully they flank in from the left. It looks like they're... I don't know what your team is doing on the left, quite frankly. They're out of play. Okay, is that your team? Is that your bamboo that walked over? Okay, all 4 of you are all in one spot, which is never the situation you want to be in when you're defending the tower or really anything. Well, Rainmaker, it's a little bit more acceptable in some situations, but here they throw 1 bomb up here and they have displaced your entire team. They're probably forcing someone to move forward into them if they do that. This Booyah Bomb could wipe you all out. You need to be putting space in between you and your teammates so that you're taking different angles and you're not all going to get wiped out by like a single bomb on this one little patch of ink you've made for yourselves. Fortunately, nobody has pushed up and you're able to take this spot on the right here. I like that you get a couple of shots on this spot, knowing that the heavy has a pretty bad line of sight on you from there, and that somebody is very likely to try and push over the top, and you do in fact get a couple of hits. That almost lets you finish this guy off, but because you stand still in the open for too long, they are able to get you anyway. I think I backed up too far there, but... yeah, you hit them twice. At this point, though, they have a little bit of an advantage, because you have to hit them over this slope here, and you can't see them as well. So they can kind of just put this in between you and them and move away into a place that's harder for you to see. They're also in range of you, and so being out in the open would be fine if you were using your range advantage, if you were at a place where you can hit them but they can't hit you. But that's not where you are right now. So in this position, it's safer to just duck around this corner for a second. And maybe like jump back out and chuck a burst bomb so that you're doing damage really quickly and they have trouble responding to it. It makes them a sitting duck for your teammates. Your teammates do eventually finish this off. So you had support there. If you just kept yourself alive, they probably would have been able to get that pick and you would have had it cleanly instead of going down here. So the situation is maintained. The enemy team has control of the tower. Yes, they're not on the tower. And so you're like, what do you mean they have control of the tower? They have control of the tower path, though. Your team, if it shows itself out here, you've just shown by going down there that you get splatted. So your team is still pushed all the way back to where they can just get through first checkpoint for free. So this is still not a winning position. Good pick by your blaster teammate seeing the flank come in. That's probably the only person who's going to come through mid. It's very rare that they put 2 players in over mid, because all that happens if they do that is the people who are on snipe are like, wait, there's no one defending the tower right now. This is like a 4v2. Just hold forward. Get these 2 guys, and then these 2 are out of position, and they're on the wrong side of the map, and nobody can jump into them. Like, if you get one person right here, and there's somebody else in this position, it's a 1-for-1 trade, and your team can probably still defend on the right-hand side. So push through center at this point. There's nobody in your way. You need to get in there and apply some pressure. And look at that. You get a pick because this roller's not looking the right way. You paint up the tower, and you're able to get into this position on the top right here. So this is really nice in that you're able to prevent the heavy from getting into a really strong position. I probably wouldn't be pushing into their base, though. Reason being, if they're on respawn, what they should probably be doing is watching their maps, and they will see this purple trail coming down, and they'll be like, oh, there's someone on that side. I'm just going to go out right and ignore them. And it's going to be risky for you to drop down into a position where you can stop them. So the best you can hope to do is maybe try and spawn camp, and I don't like spawn camping too much in this position. Maybe if you're like a Tetris, or like a CDS or something, you have the mobility to get out of that. But the best you probably get out of this is a 1-for-1 trade most of the time. And maybe that's just skill issue. No, you should be able to, stop the whole team there. They have high ground. They have weapons that have range over you. If they're smart, they don't drop over and feed to you. They just suss you out and catch you. The most you're doing is stalling for time a little bit here. which might be worth it, because if your team is able to push the tower in that time, then that might be worth. But they also have teammates that are further forward already that can already defend the tower. So the chances of that working out, not super likely. Okay. All of that being said, you do get a clean pick here because the roller just looks at all of this paint right at their feet and says, I wonder where that might have come from. Let's drop down. So a couple things about this fight. First of all, you splash down before you see that they've dropped down. You're making a hard read that they're going to do that. At X rank, they're probably not going to do that. At X rank, they're going to stand up here behind the shield and do a vertical flick at you. And you're going to be like, oh, my splashdown missed, and also I am now damaged, and also I'm in the middle of a bunch of green ink. Now they drop down and they try to get away. Now they're also not getting their aim behind them very quickly. There's only one direction you could possibly be coming at them from. And so the fact that they miss that flick is totally on them. They could have just pre-fired that angle, and one of two things happen. Either you push into it and get hit by it, or you don't push into it and they have their feet painted now and they have time to flick again and get away. Either way, they're out of that safely and you've gained nothing. But they miss twice, actually. They are still facing the wrong way when they turn around over here. So, like, right now, there's no reason whatsoever they should be turning in the opposite direction from you, right? They're trying to use rickrolling as combat movement, when what they should be doing is swimming this direction, pressing ZR, and then jumping out of the ink. I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about, because it'll probably be easier than to see than just describing it. So let's grab a roller. Here we go. So what they should be doing, they swing like that, they swim, and then do this. So you swim, press ZR, and then jump. Because if you press ZR, there's not a lot of movement you get. But if you press ZR and then jump, look at how much further I was able to get away. So roller players in the chat, here's how you play this fight better than that guy did. And you could also, you know, just do the vertical flick, but the horizontal flick out of jump is faster. And with you being right on top of them, if the roller hitbox isn't really dumb, that should be a way that you can get them. So you're either going for this, if they're far enough away that this isn't going to one-shot, or you're doing ZR and then jump. It's all about the timing between whether you press ZR first or whether you jump first. If you jump first, you get the vertical, and if you press ZR first, you get the horizontal. But you still jump either way. So, anyway. Let's go back to this. So, all of that is just to say, Roller should have beaten you there for 3 different reasons. They had 3 different opportunities to just flick at you and hit you before you could have possibly hit them. And that's to show you that this push here, not super safe, and you wanted to paint up a little bit more and shark for a better opportunity, or maybe just wait for them to go by you and be clueless to you and shoot them in the back as they go out, rather than getting their attention right away. It wasn't even you that got them in the end. It was actually the rain that they were standing in. This is the same exact push we were talking about with that K-Pro. You see shots going over at your teammate from there. Right here is when you start seeing those shots. Your teammate is already getting the heck out of dodge, and that's what you should be doing too. You should get over this ledge, be like, haha, nope, and back up until this guy starts looking someplace else. At most, you throw a burst bomb, but there's no way, if this guy is paying attention to you, you're able to sneak up on them. What you might be able to do, though, because you don't know for sure that they've seen you, if they're just shooting at your teammate, if you spot this out ahead of time, and you didn't, I think, see a shot fly over from over here, so you should be alerted that there's someone up there. From right here, they still don't know you're there. There's no way they know you're there. And so if you sit on this wall, wait for them to turn around and look at something else, because your teammate is not a target for them anymore, then you might actually have a shot to go after them. But they probably should not have fallen for that. I think if they just back up here, well, you're in range pretty early. They could have played it better for sure. In that position that they gave you, though, might be worth taking. X rank, though, I don't expect that push to work. I see them at that range, and I'm like, I don't think I can get there in time. Throw a burst bomb, get out of the way. The nice thing about throwing the burst bomb and actually alerting them to your position there is now they don't feel comfortable looking at mid. Because your goal here is to alleviate pressure from the tower. They're looking at the tower right now. You don't want them looking at the tower. So either they look at the tower, and then you get to go in and splat them for it, or they don't look at the tower, and your teammates get to push it for free. Either way, you win. So that might be an option. From here, you had no idea that there was someone on the left, so I don't blame you for this at all. And this move right here, excellent. You change direction to the left just a little bit. You're not making a huge telegraphed movement, so it's hard for them to spot. But that little dodge right there through the ink throws them off, and you're able to get away. That is awesome. Every frontliner in the room, take notes. That is exactly how you get out of a situation where you should be dead. All right, so your teammates trade. So we're looking at a 2v2 situation. You know that the K-Pro is up on the top left because they were the one who was just shooting at you. Unfortunately, what happens here is your teammate and you both get on the tower, and then they both see, oh, there's someone else on the tower, and you both get off, and nobody rides the tower at all. So you have an opportunity to be pushing the tower, because the K-Pro is out of play here, and as you see later on, the roller is also out of play. So you could have been pushing the tower this entire time, and instead it just stops and kind of goes back to mid until your teammate tries to get back on it, but then it's contested, and so it's still not going anywhere. That whole time, you splatted no one, you painted very little, you didn't use a special, and the tower didn't push anywhere at all. So what is the takeaway from all of that? The takeaway is that we need to be focused on getting the objective moving. So as soon as you see that your teammate's dropping off and trying to move forward, I'd be like, okay, I'm just going to get back on. Because your teammate didn't do that. Your teammate did keep going forward. Somebody needs to be pushing the tower here, and that's the top priority. If you need to get off to get somebody out of the way of the tower being pushed, then that's the play at that point. But as soon as... I think that happens right here. As soon as you see... No, it's not right there. Did I go too far forward? Yeah, right here. As soon as you see that they, like, got off the tower, you want to get back on the tower, even if you've jumped off yourself. Like, right here, get back on, get back on. Nobody else is going to be there to push it. If you get on, then the play from your other teammates should be to take the tower from you and let you push forward to, take advantage of what your weapon is better at doing. But you need to start making up some ground and getting towards that second checkpoint. So by the time everybody's respawned, you've decided where the fight is going to be taking place, and you've got some paint up in that area. This roller, you get the pick, but it doesn't end up leading to anything useful. You get, someone drops out of mid, and this fight right here, you see that the heavy's here ahead of time, and they know that you're coming this time, and they actually pre-fire it like you should have in the first place. Remember that fight I was talking about where I was like, the heavy should know that you're here already? They knew you were here this time, and they did exactly what they should have done in the first place. They backed up, they pre-fired your location. Absolutely nothing that you can do if you decide to take that fight, so you can't be taking that fight. Your teammate does a good job of following up and helping you there, but again, there's nobody on the tower. These picks are not helping at all because nobody's taking it. Now, your teammates should absolutely be getting on the tower. There's no excuse for them to be off for that long. At this point, I don't know what your Bamboo is trying to accomplish here. They don't have a good line of sight on anybody who's up here on snipe. They actually can't accomplish anything from this position. They should be getting on the tower, or the junior should be getting on the tower. Right? Either you push up and help, splat people, or you just play the objective. But now those two splats that you've got, not going to do anything for your team because nobody was riding. And look at that. They actually got on the tower despite the push that everybody made. And they're still pushing it. Turning left here, not a good plan. There's nothing you're going to accomplish from this except making it easier for them to push through this checkpoint. Like, what they're more likely to do if you push up towards their base here is just go out to the top right. Like, if they go up here, here's what I mean by the top right. They will either jump to the people who are already fighting around the tower, or they'll just swim out to the top right, and there's no way that you can test them at all from here. The most you can hope to do is maybe jump onto this box and meet them on the way, but then you turn around, and I guess maybe you saw this person or had a sixth sense or something they were going to be here. I don't know. But you need to be getting to the tower. You need to be taking an... Like, I would hug the left wall on your way over to the tower so that maybe if somebody's up here, they can't drop on you as easily, but you need to get to the tower and stop it and kind of get it going back in the right direction. This is open ground. They have range on you. You're missing your shots before they are. You need to be taking cover earlier. This is walk and shoot syndrome. You do a good job once you finally realize and you paint your feet, you get out of there. At X rank level, K-Pro probably hits their shots early enough and splats you there. But you had the right idea. And if you snap into that mode faster, I didn't like what I saw for the first 6 or 7 shots there. But as soon as you do this, that is playing the fight perfectly. You're staying around cover, waiting to see where they commit to, and then you're going and finishing them off. That's it. Once you paint your feet and get out of this, you've played the fight. I couldn't complain about a single thing. And you get your aim on perfectly, too, because you're waiting to see where they go and reacting to them before you give them any information from your ripples or anything. So, first 7 shots, they miss. Probably could have reacted sooner, but as soon as you do react, you play it exactly the way that you want to. So, very good job there. And now you're coming in and trying to clear them out from the tower. I don't know who was on the tower there. Oh, okay, so I think the K-Pro threw the Booyah and got shredded out of it. I was expecting there to be someone there, but yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so the Splatling up on top is going to be the biggest threat, and you don't have the range to hit them even with a burst bomb from here. So throwing the burst bomb a little risky. What I would be trying to do is hug the right-hand side, paint my way down into mid, and take a fight or, paint something somewhere where the heavy can't hit me. Because from right here, heavy definitely knows where I am. They could definitely be shooting at me. Other people are seeing me. The splashdown saves your life there, but like the roller could have seen you coming out this way and started swinging at you. Somebody drops on you, and if they're hitting any of their shots, you're dead before the splashdown comes out. So you're putting yourself out in the open without any cover a lot. And that should probably come back to bite you. Never push a roller when they're on the tower like this. Shoot them off before you go for it. Because they can literally just stand still and walk a little bit and rickroll, and they will clean you up as soon as your head pokes through the grates. It's just not worth it. There's no way that you get shot advantage on them unless your teammate is shooting them from the backside. And even then, they might just be able to roll over you as they go down to your teammate. So the way to get this guy off the tower is to stand back a step and shoot them off. But instead of doing that, they decide to splash down, and this actually gets you a chance to get away. What you need to do is shoot 1 pellet at your feet, swim through it, and get to the other side of the tower so that you can use it as cover. You might have enough time to get on the other side of the pillar and stay on the tower, maybe. But you need to be doing that instead of... Because at this point, it's been in the air so long, you're not going to be able to snap up and aim at it fast enough. I would say that there definitely are times, even at top-level play, rare times, admittedly, but times where the best call is actually not to go for shooting down the splashdown. It's actually just to avoid it. In that position, you'll learn with time, when you can actually go for it. And maybe your plan is just, I'm going to aim up and shoot at it, even if I think I don't have enough time, because that's the only way I'm going to learn to shoot at it. And if so... that's fabulous. I totally respect that. That's what I did for a while and I'm still trying to do. Just shoot the splashdown if you think you've got an opportunity, or even if you think it might be a little too late, and get in the habit of being able to do that so that you can stuff it harder, the later on you are in your Splatoon career. But there was definitely a way out of that to just avoid getting hit by it, and that would have kept you alive here in this situation. Okay, nice. They pick off another player, so it's 3v3. So this is the last chance you guys are going to get to push. Unfortunately, a teammate goes down here. Again, that burst bomb, it paints a little bit. If you're going to paint, though, just paint with your main weapon, and you'll paint more and more thoroughly. The burst bomb is also louder. Like, they'll hear the sound of it making contact. And it's more likely to alert them. So might as well just paint if you're going to paint. So you put yourself over here. You're trying to harass the heavy over here. Man, they've got multiple booyahs. In this position where you're cornered by a booyah, what you want to be doing is painting your way to the corner already, to the back corner behind you to the right. Because you've got this corner to hide in if it goes in too far over this direction. You can back all the way up if they throw it in this corner, but this is the one escape route you don't have painted, and so you want to be painting that right away. Because you don't get yourself to the wall in time. This does a lot of damage. You're only probably one shot away from dying, and you probably could have just backed away and gotten out of that. That's like an inch closer to you, you get splatted, and you didn't have to get splatted by that booyah bomb. I like the pre-firing. It's a little scary that you keep standing there and firing after you miss, because the roller player could probably have traded that if you just kept standing there and had to readjust your aim. But you do get them. And now, I think you thought you were going to be able to hit them right away, and you ended up hitting the wall. That's just an experience thing. I knew you had to jump to hit those shots. But you do get up and splat them. And from here, you are shackled to the tower. You may not leave, because if you get off, all they have to do is get on and they win the game. It's overtime. And I think maybe you're trusting that your teammate is going to be able to super jump there in time. Maybe you're just a little more scared of these shots than you need to be. But you give them a big window here of about a second and a half where all they have to do is jump on the tower and they win the game. You got to stay on. You've got to paint the area around the tower and avoid those shots and use the pillar for cover instead of leaving the tower and trusting that your teammate will get there in time. Just absolutely no window whatsoever for this player to do what they did here, especially since you're so far in green ink, right? They can just be behind you or like drop down on the left, swim up, and jump to the tower. They don't even need to climb up the wall at this point because they're so close. Or they can jump up from glass, which I think is what actually happens. So at the very end, always make sure that you're actually there on the tower so that the game can stay in overtime. So let's look at KA, because I don't think I've actually seen that yet. I've looked at this video before, but didn't go that far into it. Oh, no, I remember I did, because you top-fragged hugely. And I mentioned that at the very beginning. So let's talk from a more... Oops, not there. Not there. Okay. Let's talk from a more macro perspective. I'll switch it over to here briefly so I can get the screen set back up. What we should be doing in tower control in order to maintain control of the objective. Because you were slaying way more than the other team was. You had a numbers advantage for your team far more often than they did, and yet they still won. How does that happen? Well, let's take a look at the map and talk about how we need to play in this mode so that you can actually take advantage of the picks you get and win games off of them. Okay, here we go. So this is Schellendorf. This is about the most that I can zoom in, I think. And we don't need to grab the weapons or anything from below, so this should be a good amount of zoom. So every tower control map is very, very predictable because the tower always follows the path. It's going to go along this exact line, and it's going to stop at any of these squares that you see on the map. This is really, really obvious, but this is the basis for our analysis of this mode. While the tower is moving, it's relatively difficult to stop. it's moving away. So like if you're here, let's say, and you're trying to stop the tower. Well, if it's going to move away from you, you have to keep moving closer to it. And the closer you move to it, the more of a height advantage you're giving this player because you have to move downhill in this direction. So running behind the tower and shooting at it from behind usually isn't the greatest. You're usually going to be stopping it from in front and maybe like an off angle or something if it's stopped somewhere. But my point here is that you're generally going to try and stop the tower around checkpoints. Those are usually the best places to defend from because your team has a significant amount of time to set up. It takes about 5 seconds to clear this checkpoint. 5 seconds is half of a respawn. 5 seconds is about the amount of time that it takes to swim from respawn or super jump from respawn and be near mid. 5 seconds is a really, really long time in this game. And so if your teammates aren't like feeding in, you should be able to set up around a checkpoint even after your opponents get an advantage and be there and be in place and be ready for when the tower isn't moving anymore and you know exactly where you're going to need to be shooting at. So always be thinking, okay, what is the next checkpoint that I will have teammates respawned ready to defend? If you all wipe in mid and the enemy team is able to get on the tower right away, first checkpoint probably cleared, probably already screwed. But second checkpoint, they're not going to be able to get there before you have probably someone right here, probably someone down here, and maybe someone threatening in mid. Maybe even someone up on the glass or something like that. And so that is when you're going to want to pitch a tent and really fight them for all of this space. And really on this map, you don't have to wait until they get to the checkpoint to fight them. As long as the tower is here, this area right here is what FLC calls a stronghold. This is a spot where you have height advantage, you have a really good line of sight over this entire area that the tower has to pass through. So even while the tower is moving, something with decent range can just stand up here and make the tower rider's life really, really difficult. And only one other person is all it takes to splat that tower rider or force them off the tower. So if you lose a fight in mid, this is your primary stronghold. This is where you're going to want your backline weapons to be able to stand. So if this isn't clear, clear it out for them. But then try to take an off angle and flank the tower however you can, either from going from here or going through mid. And that way you're going to be able to prevent the tower rider from staying on as safely. But if you're pushing, here's the error that I'm seeing. You're over-focusing this area of the map. This area of the map is completely irrelevant most of the time you're on offense. There's almost nothing that your opponents can do. The most that someone can do is stop a push from standing right here, and that's if you're still trying to get it through first checkpoint. If there's a heavy here, then yeah, you throw some burst bombs at it, get it to back up so that your teammates have time to clear mid and actually get it pushing over this way. But even once they're like right here, the heavy doesn't have an angle on that. They have to left side peek from all the way out here. They lose their position a lot, like really, really quickly, and they don't have a great angle in the first place. It's better for them to just shift over to here and defend from this stronghold. If you're in their spawn, you're not stopping this heavy at all. There's nothing that you're able to do to prevent them from taking this stronghold unless you decide to go all the way around over here. And if you're doing that, let's get some of this extra drawing out of the way. If you're doing this, and before you get over to this area, from about here to here, you are completely out of play. All of the time that it takes you to move in this direction, you're out of play. Usually what you want to be doing instead is clearing out this area or clearing out this area. So you're either pushing in this direction once you've got mid and the tower is starting to push, or you push this direction and threaten from behind here. This is still going to flank the snipe area up here without having to spend all of this time in no man's land over here. And what's probably going to happen if the other team is smart is they're not even going to worry about you over here. They can go around this way. They can use height advantage to shoot you from where you can't shoot them. So this isn't even a really powerful position for you. better to be in the way of somebody who's trying to stop the tower. Better to be over here on the left side of the map where your opponents are actually realistically going to be able to defend a tower push from about this position to about this position. So focus more on the left-hand side while you're pushing. If you do get to the left-hand side and mid isn't clear and they're not able to take the tower, then you've pushed ahead too quickly. You want this area to be basically your color and maybe a little bit in this direction so you can see a flank coming before it gets there. And then your job is to either push up here or use the ink you've gotten to flank around behind. And that will help you to clear out this area and make it so that it's actually safe for your teammates to push from here. Now, that doesn't defend them from everything. For example, if there's a flank from this direction, then maybe, you know, it's on them to defend from that. And they actually do end up having to do that in a couple of places in this video. But overall, your job as the frontliner is to clear the space ahead. They can play defensively as like a bamboo looking this way. You know, they have the range to do that. But what they can't do is peek this corner and get away in time so that they can scout out where the heavy is before it can take them down, and then figure out a flank route that's going to beat that heavy and kind of force them out of position. That's your job. Your job is to do what the long-ranged weapons can't do and make space in front of you quickly and maybe skirmish a little bit. When I say skirmish, I'm talking about FLC's definition of skirmish, which is you are distracting the enemy team so that your teammates can take an off angle and shoot them while they're shooting at you instead. Your weapon is more maneuverable than something like a bamboo or especially a blaster. And so you peeking that corner is a lot better than the blaster peeking that corner. The blaster peeks that corner, they might just not be able to move. They might get their feet painted and not be able to get out in time. But all you have to do is pop a burst bomb at your feet and run back around the corner and you're safe. So that's why you kind of need to be leading the charge. You're more maneuverable, you paint better, so you can paint up this area and make sure that it's safe for the rest of them to move into it. And you're going to be able to scout out that heavy and figure out how best to aggress it, and get it so that it can't stop your bamboo and your blaster from taking good positions and pushing the tower. So, another way to think about this that I really like seeing drawn out is to think about the range that you need to have control of. So early on, you're trying to get control of this. Then for first checkpoint, you want to make sure you have control of probably this. Let me draw that a little differently. Of this. That's how you defend from first checkpoint. Maybe something like this. That's kind of the range you need to defend first checkpoint. Then once it's past first checkpoint, you want all of this, and then you want this, and it kind of moves like that. So each time that you're moving into a new zone, you want to get it mostly painted up your color, and then that's how the tower is going to be able to move forward. That's kind of the realistic path that it's going to take, and the way that the map is going to have to look for it to push where it needs to push. So that's more on your general plan, and that's kind of to inform where you need to be pushing, what you need to be accomplishing in order to get something out of the picks that you're earning for yourself. Because it's not just about picks. You're also one of the best painting weapons on your team, and the way that you signal to your teammates, get on the tower, it's time to push, is, hey, teammates, all of this is painted our color. If we're not pushing the tower right now, I don't know what you should be doing. All you got to do is like look backwards because you know no one's going to be coming from in front at this point. That's kind of the way that you get the tower to push instead of getting picks, getting frustrated that the tower's not pushing, and having to like double back or figuring, okay, well, I'll just spawn camp at this point because that's a way that I'm going to get more picks. No, play around the tower the entire game, and once you've cleared out the area in front of the tower and, you know, made it safe to be on the tower, people will get on and people will start pushing and you will start scoring more points that way. All right. man, these get longer and longer every time. But I appreciate all of you guys for sticking around and sticking it out with me. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I want to give one very special shout out before we go. We'll do the basic shout outs first, and then we'll talk about that last one. This is Squid School. We run from 3 to 5 Arizona time, which is Pacific time right now. So that's 3 to 5 Pacific time, 6 to 8 Eastern time. You can figure out the rest in the middle. We run that on every Tuesday. If you want a VOD review like this one that you've seen today, feel free to just DM me at our Discord. So that's going to be right here, and hopefully that will come through. Yes, it does. So there's our Discord server. All you got to do is find me there and send me a DM, and we'll get it scheduled and figure out how to record it and everything. We also will have, what is it that was, I'm going to check the stream schedule really quickly.
We should have a community night this weekend.
Yes, we do, and that's one thing I'm going to talk about. Oops. So Warzone Wednesday will be happening on this Wednesday. And also, something that is not on this schedule because it doesn't go all the way to Saturday, is on the 9th, on Saturday the 9th, we will have a Splatoon community night. So we'll just do basically Squid School recess. So, whenever we play private battles at the end of a Squid School, when I don't take like 2 hours to do the VOD review, whenever we do one of those, it'll be just like that, but for like 2 hours straight. So it should be a good time. Hope to see you guys there. We'll be on the same stream here, but it'll be 2 hours later in the night. So that'll be 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern, I want to say. So we'll see you guys then. But one final thing in addition to all of that is that this is going to be the last stream with Quintastic as one of our coaches. So he'll still be hanging around. He said he would be around in the Discord, might pop by in stream chat sometime and things like that. But this will be his last time here as our coach, as our chicken lord. So I'd like to say a thank you to Avery for being such a positive presence on the stream, for being so willing to learn, for being friendly, for adding some memes to our repertoire. It's been great to have you here, and the show won't be the same without you. So
I'll still be around. I don't plan on completely dipping out of existence. I'll be on the Discord, and I'll be in the chat sometimes, but yeah, just know that I'll always be here watching over you all with the power of my chickens. And plus my noble squires are still going to be here, so we got that.
So squires will make you proud. So
yeah, but thank you all. I appreciate it.
That's all that's all from us. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Avery. Didn't mean to cut you off at the end there.
No. How dare you? I'm offended. No, it's all good.
That's going to be all from us. See you all on the Discord. So check that out if you're looking for that. I'll put it into the chat again because that moved pretty quickly. And we'll see you all next time.